What would you do if you had 2 million in your account though and you couldn't get into it?
I mean,
I know what I would do.
What would you do then? Okay, welcome back to the PMH podcast.
Welcome back to PMH podcast.
Yeah,
Welcome back to the PMH podcast. Cheers.
Quinn, do you want to explain for the second time what piece of equipment
Yeah. So
we have? that
basically,
you're
the
doing
deal
this
is that for the last 3 days we've been trying to have a podcast every night, and I've not been able to get it working. So we got this new piece of equipment which I've actually got just here. The cable. There's too many cables for me to even show you.
No.
But basically, it means that live I'm able to switch the cameras and everything. So number 1 is Connor and Brad. Give us a wave.
Oh.
Number 2 is me. And number 3 is
a glitchy,
Google thing.
Yeah.
So we will sort that out. But it just means that basically, instead of
Whenever I'm talking, Quinn will put it on me,
yeah.
and whenever Quinn's talking,
So
Put it on him.
so bear with. It's going to take me a bit of a while to remember how.
this will be a
to do this.
slick operation. Come episode 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically the reason for all this is so we can edit in 10 minutes a podcast rather than 3 hours. But yeah, let's get into it. And the audio sounds better as well.
Firstly, just want to say thank you to everyone who listened to episode number 1 and 2. Really appreciate the support and all the love and everyone sharing it on their social media channels. There was a lot more of you out there listening to us than we originally thought. So that's actually so encouraging for us. We're just looking forward to making more episodes for you, and hopefully that you enjoy these episodes.
Shout out to the 2% in America.
Yeah, shout out to our American and Irish audiences.
yeah.
You know, we do appreciate all the love.
Keeping it international.
Yeah, and give us some feedback on how you like Connor and Brad's advert at the start of this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what. It's not on all platforms. I don't think our advert.
Just on Spotify.
I think it's just on Spotify.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but yeah, if you do follow
Please
us on
click
Spotify,
the link.
click on the link in the description below, and it will just go towards us making more episodes.
The money from the podcast
Dollar,
will go back
dollar.
into the podcast.
Yeah.
And we'll make this
But yeah,
better.
so
Should we get a green screen next time?
No.
Just make like a really nice background.
Well, yeah, we could be anywhere. You could be in Bali right now.
Well, that kind of, one day might do a Bali podcast. We never know.
Yeah.
Well,
not at this rate.
Fingers crossed. In the near future, we will be doing a podcast in another country. As of the announcement today,
On Friday.
stating that all travel is
15th.
not they're
Permitted
suspending
from
all.
Monday.
Yeah, from Monday.
So let's give a bit of backstory, Trevor. We were announcing this today, and we were going to tell you we are meant to be traveling to Monaco next week
Yeah.
for work to work on the World Rally Championships for a week.
For a team, yeah.
And unfortunately, well, we don't know yet. We've got
It's all up in the air.
The next kind of 48 hours are going to be very crucial. And from what the government is saying so far with it, it's saying they're closing the borders pretty much from Monday. However, because we do have work permits to go to France and
exemption
work,
letters
and exemption
all that
letters
good
and
stuff.
Yeah,
So many
we're
forms.
hoping we get to go.
the amount of work that we've had to do. Well,
You have.
what I've had to do in order to get us all the forms, just get us everything sorted so that
Book our
you know,
tests and everything.
no
yeah.
government in Europe can stop us from going.
That sounds like we're a
basically.
tyrant.
I mean, it's been frustrating. It's been a frustrating week because each day it keeps changing. Eeach day we don't know if we're going.
We
if
only
are
confirmed going on like Wednesday.
Yeah,
Started
I mean,
booking
yesterday was really when we got the last letters through that were kind of like, right, this is really
This is
going
we're doing.
ahead.
Yeah.
And
then today happened.
Yeah, and then so we were really the whole time it was relying on the French side. That was the problem, and the French government were taking a long time to decide.
And now they're fine.
And now they've decided that it's okay, and the British government have changed their minds. So it's a very
we'll
confusing
see what
time.
happens. See what happens. High spirits, though. High spirits.
Yeah, we're all very excited, aren't we? I'm really looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
long
Yeah.
road trip, driving, Eurotunnel, all of that.
It's weird to be thinking that we're traveling during a pandemic, and I know it's probably it's not the best thing to be doing. However, we are taking all the precautions possible. We are
Testing, quarantining.
Yeah, we're testing before we leave. As soon as we arrive, when we get to the event, we are keeping to ourselves. We're not even we're packing food and
Eating it
cooking out of a gas cooker out the back of the car, so we don't come in contact with anyone.
Yeah.
So we are being extremely cautious. It's just
This was an opportunity that got given to us, and we just felt like
it's too good of an opportunity to
we
miss.
could not pass on this opportunity.
no.
So because the Monte Carlo Rally is one of, but in terms of rally driving, it is the biggest event.
And the location as well is just the perfect location.
Yeah, we've had to buy snow chains. I had to learn how to put them on today, which
so
is interesting.
all that time of learning
Could be
might be
wasted.
going to waste at this rate. I mean, we are hoping to do a podcast though next Sunday in Monaco on the finish line
with the driver that
with
we're
the driver that we are
filming for.
Yeah, and so that could, you never know. It could still happen. We'll
Stay tuned.
just touch some wood.
Touch some wood, boys.
Otherwise, you could just be getting more content
this.
of us here.
Yeah. What's the first topic of the day, Connor?
So
Kind of doing like a news bullet. Not a news
we're doing
bulletin. What's going on in the world?
we're just gonna have a general chat today, kind of about we've caught you up on what's going on in our lives. But we've had a few teething problems this week, haven't we? We really had our first kind of argument as a three.
Well.
We've had a few disagreements, and that's
Yeah. The fact we made it even
this
almost
in a
2
week.
weeks is great.
Yeah.
But that's just because we're three people that care a lot about this business.
Yeah.
And
This
sometimes
is why I'm sitting in between them today.
We're fine. I think there's so much passion between us for what we do, and that's so hard. Sometimes each of us feel like we're right, but actually sometimes we need to meet in the middle, and I think that's been the great thing so far, that we've
Been able to do that.
been able to do it. And actually, it's probably a good thing that we had this argument now. And
Not in
it
France.
wasn't even an argument, was it? It was more just like we all agreed on the same thing. We were just
Well, so the deal is that Connor and I have been friends for years, obviously, and we've always because we're at the level of kind of friendship where you're happy to explain when when they've pissed you off.
yeah, but we don't get pissed off at like we get pissed off
At the situation, not each other.
It's not each other. And immediately after we said, look, there's no issue here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what happens at work happens at work. I think that's a great thing about this friendship.
Yeah.
Like, it happens at work, we move on, and that's it. But as I said, it's amazing that we've only just had an argument now, considering the 2 weeks that we've had have been extremely stressful.
Well, so actually thinking about it, in my previous job, and I think in every job, you get furious at just when you're working with people, and it doesn't even have to be. You don't have to be friends with the person. You just get furious at people when you're working.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is that the only reason is that like the confrontation happened was because
You could openly talk.
we could openly talk about it, and we're making this out to be a much bigger deal than it was. It was 5 minutes of us just having opposing ideas.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Met in the middle, and it was fine.
I think it would be an interesting kind of one to talk to about, and it's these sorts of things. When you're a young company, you have these teething problems, and these are really small issues, but every single small company has to go through it, and it's it's an interesting thing for any company to go.
It's a learning curve, isn't it?
And it's how you deal with it, and how you recover from it. Is what's important. It's not actually what the argument is. So
it was fine. We're still doing the podcast now, so it couldn't have been too bad.
no, but so that's that. And it's been a busy week.
Tick
for
that
us.
one off the list.
So have you? Moving on now. We'll go. Did you see the figures were released this week for about December and the spending habits of everybody over Christmas?
What, online or in
Online?
store?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
not in store, yeah.
I mean, I'm particularly talking about ASOS.
They had mad sales.
ASOS were up. They were up on their turnover 36% in just December alone.
I think I got a notification every day from the app being like 20% off this,
They
20% off, 20%
absolutely
off
killed
this.
it.
I was like, wow.
How often do you guys shop on ASOS?
Not that.
I used to a lot. I used to a lot more, but now I don't. Yeah,
Where do you get your clothes from?
depends.
Well, Brad, you're
Brad's-
constantly looking for clothes.
I haven't bought anything. The last thing I bought.
I haven't bought.
I bought a pair of dungarees last month. That was nearly 2 months ago now. That
Very
was the
in.
last thing.
They're very
When was
cool
the
as well,
last
to be
thing I
fair.
bought? I don't know, like a pair of trackies, like in December.
Well, Brad was actually going to buy a pair of shoes yesterday.
Yeah, and then they got sold out, and pretty
He
upset
was
about
too indecisive, is what he was.
No, I think it was more I was resting on being like, they're not going to sell out. It's fine. I'll just browse.
No
And
matter,
then-
whenever that happens, whenever you're so confident, it's fine.
It always
It's
bites you
something
in the
that-
arse.
yeah, it
Always
does.
bites you in the arse, doesn't it? Next time. There's always next time.
But yeah. Also, another one that I saw
Mm.
at the demand for prosecco was through the roof over Christmas. Apparently, it always is normally. But apparently, again. So the stat, I remember it last time. Like alcohol sales up were in the first lockdown were up like 70%.
Jesus.
They were like they're well into like the 90s over Christmas this time. It's like it was ridiculous.
On the previous year.
I mean, Morrison's were selling millions, and I mean literally millions of bottles of prosecco.
Yeah. Well,
That's
see,
crazy.
I'm not the biggest fan of prosecco. I mean,
I'll drink it.
yeah.
Maybe not my first choice, but
I mean,
Connor, you're really interested in all things related to alcohol. That makes you sound like an alcoholic. I didn't- I
does,
didn't-
doesn't it?
I was saying, where is this going to go?
I
Are you
just
saying
like-
he's an alcoholic?
I
You went
I like
8 days.
I did go. No. 12 days I went without drinking in January, and I haven't had a drink this week. This
What
is my
about-
first one.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
That's a lie.
oh well, okay. I've had one other drink. We did a shot of tequila on our shoot the other day.
That's
Right,
very
straight up calling Connor out.
I mean, look, it was the first shoot back of the year. I thought, let's get started and have a shot first.
I mean, we were just in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Well,
it's a bit of a PMH ritual though, isn't it?
That
Taking a
makes
shot.
us sound like we're alcoholics.
it's not like I mean I think
We weren't
some shoots
smashed.
are just really fun and it's good. You can have a
Get
drink
loose.
and have
We
a
needed to
laugh.
get creative.
I mean the girls that we had that were tested beforehand before they came here.
They're in our
Mm.
bubble.
They
They
are
are
in
in our
Quinn-
bubble anyway because
Yeah.
I'm living with my girlfriend and my girlfriend and her sister were the two models.
Yeah.
And,
And just put it out there. So it was all safe.
Yeah, and you know we were all just having a good time and the girls were nervous. We gave them a couple shots first and just
that
loosen them
also
up.
makes like we tried to make them get drunk.
No, it wasn't.
Let's cover our own. Let's just make it clear. All right. Okay. Next.
Yeah. Moving on.
Quickly move on to that.
So TikTok. We're gonna move on to
Oh.
tech. Would you just let the
Yeah,
topics
no,
happen?
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
You were there when we were writing it.
Yeah, that's fine.
You could have said then. You can't bring it up mid podcast.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you know I have no idea what's on the agenda today because all I've been doing is focusing on setting this thing up.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that this was an interesting point from. So TikTok have been making all of from 16 and under all of their accounts private now because there's been a
Really?
lot of privacy problems. So this is kind of also moving on. This relates.
Did
to
Facebook do that?
I don't know. I don't know.
probably
But
should.
so on I don't know if anyone else knows it, but on TikTok you have a For You page. It's what's the trending things
Yeah.
and what their suggestions of what you might like.
Mm.
But TikTok are banning all 16 and under
Stuff.
from being on that page. So you either have to
Be
follow
following them. Yeah.
and request to follow them to see their content.
But that must be a bit of an issue because there's quite a lot of famous TikTokers that are under
Under
16,
16.
right?
Yeah, and I mean, well,
I'm sure there's because they're probably like TikTok affiliates,
I-
so they can probably get through that.
see, this was I don't know if this was to do. I know it was big to do with European privacy laws.
It's debt change. Yeah.
I don't know if the UK are taking on as much. Obviously now because we've left Europe, we're not governed by
left
the
the
European.
EU,
Yeah,
not Europe.
we left
we're
the
still in
EU.
Come on,
Uh,
Brad, you're really on his case today, aren't you?
Like, would you just
I'm
let
just
it
trying to help.
flow?
I'm just trying to help.
Everybody else will get it. You're just being a pernickety.
Everyone's about to witness our second conflict.
This
Do you know
might be-
what?
This might be
Next
physical.
time I'm not doing it. Brad can do it on his own.
What-
And he can-
what, it's just going to be me and Quinn.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm done.
I'm done.
But,
But have your shares then.
So I could. You wish. But so it could be to do with the privacy laws to each country.
I get that. No, I
don't know.
I agree with
I
that.
think it is. I think it is. I mean,
I agree with that.
because there's a lot of underage girls shaking their ass, and it's just not what you need to be doing.
Well, there's a lot of kids out there that don't understand
What they're putting out.
Yeah, and who can see it and how many people can see it.
But on another point, this is quite interesting.
I love
There's-
how you just like preempt pressing the button.
Well, yeah, no, I'm ready.
I like
I'm
that.
ready to talk. So, but the interesting thing with TikTok, there's been a lot of controversy with TikTok recently because it's owned by a Chinese company and they
Yeah.
don't have any data protection laws, or maybe less than what we are. So America's actually, I mean, Trump's been trying to shut down TikTok.
Well, Trump has been bought by TikTok has been bought by Oracle,
Oracle.
in America.
my
So-
mum actually used to work for Oracle.
So Oracle,
When did you
now run it, but it's just
Just the American, isn't it? Just the
yeah,
American.
it's just the American one, but it's the same platform, so we can still get an American TikTok, all of that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know whether it might happen in Europe. It could do, and I would, if it was to happen, I would say Oracle would run it here
as well. Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
Why would they not just buy all of it? I
Well,
guess they don't know what they want to sell,
they,
do they?
It was forced by the U.S. government.
Yeah, true.
So that obviously doesn't have anything to do with us. I mean, I think the problem with US and China is the butt heads a lot. There's a not,
Who's got the biggest hoo-ha?
exactly. I mean, Huawei. They've had a lot of problems with Huawei.
Fun fact:
And 5G.
they use the same music licensing platform that we do. Because in one of their adverts on their phones was one of the ones that I used for one of our clients as well.
I mean, Huawei is their European base, ain't too far from us, Reading.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're
it
based
is.
in Reading.
There's actually quite a lot of technological companies. In
Yeah,
Reading now,
Reading
aren't
is
there?
Reading's the tech capital of the UK.
It's not.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Well,
like-
I know the Oracle office.
It's
is
where
there.
it's like where all the tech companies have head offices.
Yeah, it's a lovely place.
Dumb question.
I actually mean horrible.
possibly. Does the Oracle company have anything to do with the Oracle in Reading being
No.
called the Oracle?
No.
There must be
But
something.
yes,
to-
no,
even if
I
it's
don't
not a
think so.
direct.
I think it is.
I don't think it's direct naming rights. I
No,
think
no. It's not owned, but is
I-
there
it
a
must be a
something influenced or something?
Yeah, I'd say it would be a donation. I don't think it's like
No, like they
this
don't
is
own
the
it.
Oracle.
No, because then it would be
because otherwise you would think they're using
their branding.
wouldn't
yeah.
you?
There must be something to do with that.
Get a phone call, mate. You're gonna answer on the podcast. Go
Should
on.
I?
So I've just looked it up, and it
Who's
says that
calling
it's
you? Dad?
it says that the
Hello.
Oracle is owned by
No.
Abu Dhabi Investment Authority.
No, we're currently on the podcast. I did mention this
hello,
earlier.
Morgan.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, what are you having for dinner, actually?
Oh my god, this is just the least professional thing ever. Brad's always
Ooh,
ruining the
I know.
podcast.
Alright, okay.
Well, I did
I'll see
tell
you
him to
later.
answer it. You know.
Okay.
That's fine. Don't worry. I can eat here. All right, that's fine.
Love you, Daddy.
Bye. See you later. Bye. That was immature, Quinn. That was extreme.
Daddy, chill.
So what? So we'll.
I love how you put it in the camera on you. When you said it,
I'm still getting used to it. Yeah.
yeah,
Right,
Con-
I've got to figure out when to go to me and when to go back.
Connor's trying to make a point.
Yeah, sorry, Connor.
So did we find out about Oracle?
Yeah. So if I go on to cam number 3 and show the glitchy thing. So yeah, it's
I can't
owned
even read that.
owned by a joint venture of Hammerson and the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. So yeah,
And Oracle.
it's got nothing to do with. I think it's just called the Oracle because Oracle's a term that's thrown around a
Yeah.
fair amount, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in
It
Halo.
is.
Since the Matrix.
Yeah.
I could just be making shit up.
There was another, in other kind of tech-related news, that have you seen the rise of Pokemon Go players being fined for breaking COVID laws?
I love it. I love it. There's nothing going to stop the Pokemon.
So
boys.
I
love
mean,
it. And girls, obviously.
there was a man, he travelled for, I think it was in, I'm not too sure. I mean, down Cheltenham way, I believe.
Mm.
That you can fact check me if you want. I'm not too sure.
But like, why wouldn't you?
But he travelled 14 miles away from his home, and it was, when I think it was because he crossed the
Walking?
border. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't like if you walked like a couple miles down the road.
fine.
Cool, but like if
But
there's restrictions and rules for a reason, it's not just like
It's a hard one because like some people are on county borders and they're travelling from, and one county police force is saying, "Oof, well, you've travelled
into our county,
but the man could live on the border.
I just want to go for a walk on that side.
Yeah,
Well, if
it's
I was
hard to police.
If I was living where I usually live, because I'm currently living at my girlfriend's, and I've been living there for like a month now, since the lockdown started. But if I was living where I usually live, I would actually be changing counties every
You
day,
Berkshire?
coming
Same with
into
me.
the office.
Same with me. Like I'm close. Like I
I
have
thought you
to-
meant when you come to work, you'd be changing borders because it's literally across the.
No, but because I can go. If I go to Henley, well, Henley was my closest town. Yet when Henley was in tier 2 and my house was in tier 4, yeah, I was travelling further to go somewhere else than I would to Henley. Yeah, I was breaking the law.
Yeah, they were fining people down that
Yeah.
stretch of road in between, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there was a woman I know. She got fined because her horses were in Oxfordshire, and her house is in Buckinghamshire. But she has to go feed the horses every
not
day.
feed the
She's
horse.
got to let them die. That's a shame, isn't it?
That was deep.
And even the police didn't say that was essential. You think it's a bit out of order, isn't it? I think the whole thing is getting a bit.
We always go back to COVID.
It's
don't we?
hard. It's hard to police at the minute, isn't it? You know, and
There's no like clear. It's not. It's so not clear.
It's a problem with guidelines. But like
That's
I
why it's
heard,
guidelines, isn't it? Yeah.
I heard on the, the politician saying the other day on the news, he was saying, "Look, we can't think of absolutely every situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already trying to run a country in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And then
It's
you
going to be hard as
yeah.
it is.
No, I do sympathise. Is probably the wrong word to use.
I think
like, I get the problems that they're facing. Like
but in terms of thinking about it from, I mean, your parents are a good example. Connor's parents own the pub. They own a pub, but pubs put in the same category as a coffee shop. So they're banning takeaways because the fact of the matter is your parents' takeaways. Who's going to catch COVID from getting your takeaways?
I mean, they don't come inside. They can't. We have them in allotted time slots, so they can't.
There's no
The only person comes at that time slot is the person picking up their food.
Yeah, and the issue is that there's a lot of people waiting outside coffee shops in order to pick the coffee shops, and that's why they're stopping the takeaway service. But that there's because I feel like, especially in hospitality, the categories are way too broad.
Yeah, they just lump everyone together.
And
don't
I mean, going back to Tom, going back to our mate Tom, he has an events company, and they they don't have lines on what they can do. It's like they don't.
There's
know,
just nothing.
There's just no information. Yet they're they're considered hospitality, but they're events, which is something different. And it's like, but everyone is so confused at the minute. I think because it's changing. I mean, like us today, right? All week we've been planning to go away next week, and that it changes. And it's so hard to keep up with what's going on.
I guess it's just sort of playing it safe. Just sort of make sure that you've got everything that you need. Like for traveling, like we've got everything that the government have said that we need to safely travel to another country for work.
I mean, we've gone. I mean, Quinn
Has gone
above and beyond to get everything in place. And no matter how much you prepare, you can't prepare for what the government's going to say.
Especially at the moment. Like it's just
the thing that's sad is you're told do this, and then you'll be allowed. Just follow this. So you put in so much work, and then the next day they'll be like, actually, we're stopping all of that. So that's where we're worried at the moment because we've put money into it as well.
Yeah,
we've not only put time into it, we've put money into it.
We're not going to get our return on this until we go do it. So personally, we've now had to put money up in order to get there. And if it doesn't happen, we won't get a return on it, and that's a hit we've got to take. 2 weeks ago, we weren't even going to go, and then it all of a sudden got a lot easier from the government's point of view, saying, "Oh, you can travel now for work as long as you get the right paperwork." And then they've turned around and said to us 2 weeks later, "Oh, well, now you can't." And now the lines are blurred again. We're not going to know. And we need to start getting tests. We need to plan all of these things, and it's getting close.
We're not even done yet.
Yeah.
To play devil's avocado.
Devil's avocado, yeah.
I know we're annoyed at the government making that decision.
Yeah.
But they are trying to do what's in the best interest of as many people as possible. That was very bright in my eyes. They're trying to save lives at the end of the day. I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying.
I'm not. I understand the point of view to go, and I'm more than happy. Look, if we can't go, we can't go. I get that.
Yeah.
We planned it to make it as safe as possible.
It's just frustrating from week to week as a business owner. You literally don't know what you can do.
Yeah.
We can hardly plan for a shoot now until the week off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the fact of the matter is that the shoot we did the shoot that we did this week. Yeah. Sorry. The shoot that we did this week was only capable because of my girlfriend and her sister.
And that we were in the same. But I mean, I've got my girlfriend as well, and she's here, so we can rely on people in our households to help us with shoots.
But how long can we do this for? Is the question.
And that's
well, I guess if they say the media business can keep going, if you follow the guidelines and you get people tested, you test, you make everything safe, and then we can do it, then that's fine. So I doubt they change that, but I don't want to jinx it.
Do you know what? It's like it is frustrating it for us, but
extremely grateful that we can still work.
We're in a fortunate position where we can work and do stuff, and So I'm
In
not
the first lockdown, we couldn't.
Yeah, the first one was hard. Like this one is, they're allowing us to work to a degree, and obviously we're having to implement things into our business that we
Which is
normally wouldn't.
fine.
I'll tell you what. I was so before I started working here, I was finding it really tough because I've been working from home for the last 8 months, which just meant that I was
God, that
like because my desk is only about 2 meters away from my bed. Actually, it's actually a meter. So the fact of the matter is that I was spending 99% of my life within 1 meter
You
square.
were probably spending what 15 hours a day
in one place.
in one place.
Well, and also all I could do because I spent my time because we weren't allowed to go out and everything. So when I wasn't working, I was gaming, which I do at my desk as well. So the fact of the matter is that I would be at my desk from morning till night, and I got into a pretty terrible headspace. Brad, get your foot off the desk because you just ruined the HDMI connection. Let me try and fix that. Oh my god, Brad! Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no, he's cut out the camera.
All right, okay. You guys talk among yourselves. But basically, all I was going to say is the fact that I was in a bad headspace over the last couple of months, but coming into work and actually having a routine where it's active makes such a difference. And the fact we're allowed to do this is great.
I mean, we're doing it not to discourage. Like, we are being extremely safe about this whole thing. Yes, we do go home to each other's houses, but we're testing each week, and we're only seeing each other. So we are in our bubble.
Yeah, is it dead?
But no, it's been good. But moving on from COVID, because I think it is a bit of a dull subject, and everyone's heard far too much, and the whole point of the podcast was not.
I'm surprised it wasn't the most. Oh Jesus! It wasn't the most Googled word last year.
Really, what was the most Googled word?
I think it was like how to make banana bread or something like that. That was like the most Googled thing last year.
Just gonna have to charge it. Brad, can you plug it in? We're just gonna have to charge it for a bit. No camera on me for like the next 10 minutes. That's fine.
Yeah, look it up.
I mean,
Quinn, please.
I'll have a look at.
What was the most Googled search last year?
Oh,
I think
Okay,
2020.
most
It was something to do with,
Google.
I've done it, Quinn.
it was like how to do like a TikTok dance or something.
2020. Okay. Well, I can show the views. The most searched thing on Google. Kobe Bryant. Oh, rip. Coronavirus update.
What?
Coronavirus symptoms. Zoom. Okay.
Oh yeah, no. So number one in the UK, top trending was coronavirus, US election, Caroline Flack, coronavirus symptoms, coronavirus update, Premier League, Boris Johnson, eat out to help out, Kobe Bryant, Kim Jong-un.
Oh shit! Yeah, when he died.
Oh yeah, they thought he died, didn't they? Because he went after it.
Yeah,
To be fair, might be dead. Yeah.
they might have just made him again.
They might just. It could be
Cloned.
What if he is the best person
What if it's
on the planet?
Shut up.
I mean, do you remember when he won them the World Cup?
Yeah, and they won like 14-0 against Brazil in the
Yeah.
final.
All right, guys, check out the solution while that camera's charging. Guess what I can do?
You're gonna
Go
turn on the
webcam.
FaceTime camera.
Yeah. Look,
Let's have a look on the web.
it looks.
That looks like a great webcam.
It looks terrible.
Can you turn it back on this now? Because it's on.
Yeah, but you can't. Can you? I don't think the micro HDMI is going to fit in with that charging it at the same time.
So we are still clearly
Oh,
working out the kinks here, and it's
But it'll be a good listen. Maybe
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's been very frustrating trying to do a podcast.
nothing works the way you want it to work.
No.
Well, that's an issue that we're going to need to fix. And it's, the fact this is glitchy is so annoying.
I think it is. It's just the adapter. We need to buy a new adapter because that does it with on my TV as well when I'm watching it.
All right, should we get some good Quinn? Why don't you just come sit here?
Well, because my mic's here as well.
Yeah.
I could go a cappella and take it out.
That would be quite funny.
Go on. Just go wire it.
Shall I wire it over to you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
just,
why not, man?
just pull it out.
We'll talk amongst ourselves.
Dude, there's so many. I can't actually be asked.
So have either of you deleted your WhatsApp now with all of the
I have
stuff
heard
going on?
about this. I've just kind of scrolled past it. To be honest,
Yeah.
do you want to tell me more?
I mean, so it's all about the privacy laws again. Like
Have they changed it, or have
well,
they just not had them?
They've said that you have to agree to let your data go to Facebook from your messages.
But if you have Facebook anyway,
This is my point.
What's the point? Like,
I mean,
what are you saying
Look,
over?
I have said for the last probably nearly 3 years now, my parents have been all avid users of WhatsApp. I've only got back into using WhatsApp this year because of
Through
business.
yeah.
And I didn't like it because of the privacy. But I didn't care. Do you know, it's not. I've just said.
We're not sending our bank detail. We're not.
I've
doing
just
like,
voiced my opinion that look, that WhatsApp and Facebook have been bad about their privacy. It's not. I don't use. I still use it because I don't give a shit about what they're reading. I don't have anything to hide.
No.
I am not an interesting person.
Well,
So-
you've got a podcast. So you're interesting.
So like, why should I care?
Stop
about,
listening. Connor's not interesting.
Why should I care about what do I have to hide?
There are millions upon even billions of people on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Why would they look at you?
exactly. I mean, like,
Hopefully they're looking for.
some people are really paranoid.
Yeah, like hopefully they're looking for terrorists and paedophiles and stuff like. Hopefully they're looking for people that are an actual danger to society, not Connor, 22.
Yeah.
Like,
22-year-old who's got his own podcast and runs a business. All I do
well, I
on
thought you said
WhatsApp,
you had a podcast instead of business. First.
all I do is on WhatsApp is talk to people about business and projects that we've got coming up and our other clients. So it can't be that interesting. You could probably figure out how much we make from it, but
Yeah, to be fair, you got to be a bloody good detective to get any information. Like,
yeah.
There's nothing really that interesting on that.
yeah,
Just like, what time should we be at the shoot? Oh, 9 a.m. Cool, we'll be there. What are you going to do with that,
they're going to
buddy?
be in Ilford at 9.
We're going to get them there.
See, however, I have downloaded Telegram, which is now arrival of, and I actually got a message from Telegram yesterday.
Saying, we're so much better than WhatsApp.
Pretty much. They said, so in the past 72 hours alone, we've had
That
25
is
million new
crazy.
users.
That is
In
crazy.
72 hours, Telegram had gone up. So they had surpassed 500 million users.
Telegram.
Telegram.
It's like it's basically
it's
WhatsApp.
the
The
new
substitute.
WhatsApp. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is another one that I forgot.
But how do we know how safe they are?
Oh, because they've got end-to-end encryption properly. And
How do we know that, though? They could just be telling us that.
That's their USP, probably.
Well, otherwise you couldn't. What's that called when
You lie.
you lie? What's it?
No, it's like, I don't know.
You can get done for it. There's a name for it.
Yeah,
probably know
yeah.
that.
False advertising, isn't it?
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but there is.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I guess
so there's been in the
Yeah.
past 72 hours alone, more than 25 million users around the world joined Telegram. That these are milestones that were made possible by users like you who invited friends and all of that. La-di-da-di-da.
These milestones were available by you because WhatsApp screwed up your data.
No, but
Stop
they didn't even have. I mean, they had barely over 1 million users when I got onto it.
I'm
last year.
surprised. You had it last year.
Yeah, I got onto Telegram probably about October.
Who are you messaging on that?
No one.
No one really, but
As per usual.
I've got a couple friends on there, and it's quite good. But yeah, a lot of people.
that
Yeah,
It's that. Oh right. Okay,
Yeah,
that's that one.
a lot of
That's so funny.
a lot of people like look. You see, like all of these. I keep getting it every day. Oh, I think he's joined Telegram. I think he's like
Oh really?
so and so has joined.
I just don't really care. To be honest, like. No, I don't. I mean, I care about your point. I like.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
but
it's just-
I don't. It's the typical thing. It's the typical change, isn't it?
Mm.
You know, like over time, these changes happen from platform to platform. You think, oh, that platform's never going to die, and then they shoot themselves in the foot. And
Cheers, Quinn.
They shoot themselves in the foot by saying something like, well, I think we were talking about it earlier, weren't we? I think Facebook is going to be its own downfall. Like, they're going to be the one that kills.
They're learning from nothing. Like they're just learning from their own mistakes. There's no one else that they're learning from. They're the first of their kind, pretty much. So
Yeah. One thing I would say, and this may be a controversial opinion, but I also
Oh,
feel the
God.
same about Twitter, is that they're starting to act like publishers rather than
Yeah,
because they definitely do have a political agenda.
there is over censoring. I will agree with that.
Can I rewind a little bit back
Yeah.
to your point about the WhatsApp and Telegram and the data? If you really care about your privacy data and you really care about WhatsApp tapping into your data, get off social media then.
Do you know what
Like, because they keep all your data anyway.
Do you know
And
what another point
yeah.
I was?
how do you think you get tailored ads? They
Yeah.
they have your data. So if you really care about that,
Well, I mean, Amazon take all your data.
exactly. So,
So it's just one of those
Everyone's
things.
saying they hate the cookies, having to accept the cookies thing. If you don't want to be tracked, do not accept the cookies.
they give you an
That is-
option.
that is quite literally
What
what
the-
you are agreeing to. You are agreeing
What it says in that small
to
print.
have your data used for marketing.
Mm.
It's your own fault. If you care that much,
Get off it.
yeah. And do you know, someone else
What's
said,
that like? Not religion, but like that community that they live off the grid. What are they call
The American bunch.
the Amish people.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's
there
actually
we go.
quite a few.
Well,
You got
don't
the
need-
Amazonians as well. Like, and everything.
The religious group that don't
Are they
believe in
religious?
technology. Yeah, so Amish people are heavily
Dude,
religious.
that's the whole thing. They're so
Yeah.
religious that they're just like to the point.
Well,
where
they
they're-
just don't believe in modern technology.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you? I saw this.
Mm.
Have you ever seen that the Amish catalog? They have like catalogs for like horse and carts and like you know like a butter turner, like to turn the butter. That
Yeah,
looks awful.
you know their
They-
horse and
if
carts
you're
are
listening,
worth
if you're
money
listening on
as well.
Spotify, get on YouTube. Just
It's
listen.
funny as a video.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
so funny.
But,
Yeah, then you get to see what Brad looks like, and it's terrible. I'm joking. Sorry,
Cheers,
I'm being
buddy.
salty.
where were we before?
Amish
The
people.
Amish.
Amish people.
Data.
Data. Yeah. I've forgotten.
If you care if you
Sorry.
care about WhatsApp and handling your data, become Amish
I
then.
remember
all
my
right,
point
that's
now.
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So no, someone said to me the other day, look, the government has your date of birth. They know where you live. They have your social. They have your
Blood type, eye
insurance
color,
number, national
like-
insurance number.
Mm.
Like, if they wanted to find you, they would be able to. They don't need your phone to track you down.
Yeah.
Pretty much anybody's able to find you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You own your bank statement. You're not that important for you to be worried about if you're being listened to.
Literally.
Let's be honest. If someone's motivated enough, anyone's able to find where you live
Yeah.
and
Oh my, yeah.
It's
you know, your
impossible
phone
to be off the
number
grid
and
now.
everything.
And,
Yeah.
like, no,
Unless you are literally off
I-
the grid, off the grid.
no, unless you were born in a not in a hospital and you never had your birth registered.
And you've never been to hospital.
You've never been to school. You've never been to a doctor. That is the only single way you could go like off grid.
Are
completely.
Amish people off the grid?
Well, technically, but I feel like they still.
No, because they still do have the weird thing about it is because I was
How do
watching,
you
I was
know?
watching a Louis Theroux thing on it.
Oh, right. I
They
love
do actually still use some
Fun
types of.
fact, I sat next to Louis Theroux at the BAFTAs.
Wait, you've seen? Oh, I'm actually so. He's probably one of my biggest heroes.
He's so nice.
yeah. He's
so-
I think you need to explain to the people what you did at the BAFTA.
I got nominated for an award.
No, it's actually quite cool because I didn't know this was a job until you did it.
It's so weird. So basically,
not to flex, but the company I worked for when I was there was
Got
actually nominated for a BAFTA.
did you win?
All right, just because you went
No,
to
no.
both, just because both of you've been to the BAFTAs.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
Yeah, of course you are. It's not that secret.
On
You're not
pretty
working for the government.
Just like someone, I just see like a red
Mm.
dot out the window, and it's just, oh lord. So basically, at pretty much every sort of award show that's like on TV, they have seat fillers. So when people go up and get awards and present the awards, there's spaces in the seats. So when they pan round on TV, there'll be empty seats, and that doesn't look good. So they get people like just random people,
Like yourself?
like me, a random person, to just sit in the seats and look like someone famous.
He's back. He's back.
And
You back
and
on?
I've actually found a way for it to be charging at the same time. So
Nice.
there you go.
Ruined my story. I'll wait till Connor sits down, but this is a really, really good story.
Yeah. No, it is actually. It's a good story. It's got
Mm.
Louis Theroux in it, so it must be.
Yeah, and Michael McIntyre.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah. Just be careful. with that.
Holly Willoughby was there.
Hollywood. Oh,
Yeah. What?
that sounded bad.
And
yeah,
Dec.
sorry, Charlotte. Love you.
Nice.
hang
You
on.
press the settings button on there,
No, it's all good.
and we're back.
No, wait, no. Just continue with your story.
So when the famous people go up and get their awards and go present the awards, we get called by the producers, the floor managers, and we get told to sit somewhere and just like wait and just look there. So I was sitting in a seat that had Louis Theroux to the right of me, and then I can't remember who it was to the left of me. And
Whose seat were you sat in?
I have no idea. I had no idea who the person was. I think they were in the back. They were
Yeah.
when the team went up, because there was like 4 or 5 of us that was sat in the group.
Yeah.
So we had to fill in that group. So it might have been a director or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I sat next to Louis Theroux, and then at first I was like, "Do I talk to him? Do we talk to him?" And then I was like, "I'm just not going to."
Definitely.
But then I went back again and sat on the other side of him, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a seat for it." He was like, "Oh, I really thought like you were someone famous, and you just kept like going to the toilet." I was like, "No, like I'm here to like fill the seats." So, like he didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
So
it's bizarre.
Yeah.
And they've probably been to hundreds of those.
exactly. And then I moved around and I sat like behind like Holly Willoughby, Ant and Dec.
Maybe that's a compliment. Maybe he thought you were too beautiful to be a seat for that.
Holly would have been a nice one.
Yeah.
They're like a clique. Apparently.
Yeah, I know.
Like Ant and Dec, Holly Willoughby, they're like a clique.
Yeah, but
What's
haven't
what's
they
a
known?
clique?
Like they're a group. They're like a
Yeah.
Haven't they known each other for a long? Because like they worked on TV together.
Yeah. They probably.
But Holly Willoughby used to be a model. That's how she got famous.
Oh, I didn't
blame
know
her.
that. Well, that makes sense though. But Brad, similar to your story, so it's a good thing he spoke to you because I think you'd
he
really,
made me feel comfortable. Like I was allowed to be there.
yeah, you'd probably really regret if you didn't end up speaking to him. You'd probably really, you'd probably really regret it because I remember.
That's literally what I said to myself. I was just like, I'm gonna regret if I don't. I'm next to Louis
Yeah.
Theroux. Like I love your documentaries. Like I want to make a documentary one day. Like,
So my story involves. So I'm a big time guitarist. I love guitar. Anyway,
big
so,
time.
Not so big time.
Yeah, yeah,
How big
yeah,
time?
not so big time.
Quinn sits in the corner of the office when he gets bored and just plays
I
the guitar in the corner. To the point.
Go on, give us a serenade.
Wait,
I don't mean I might get copyrighted.
will this work? Yeah, it's that accurate.
Oh my god. This is music to my ears.
And he's broken.
I broke my mic.
Oh, brilliant.
But anyway, to continue with the story. So my favorite guitarist, I went to see a gig with him, and he's from America, and he's not really known over here. His name's Eric Gale. And anyway, so he went to Newbury, and sorry,
Is he a solo artist or?
he is a solo artist, but he's got a band along with him, like a company.
Does he sing or does he just play the guitar?
Okay, so
You can sing really
this
well.
is the thing about him is the fact that he's the best guitar, in my opinion, he's the best guitarist in the world.
Alive,
He
alive and dead.
He sings on his track, alive. He sings on his track, on his tracks. But I must say he's not got the best voice. But however,
That
so
is
I went to a,
Tomish.
That is Tom Misk.
seriously, guys.
Sorry.
Have we explained his
Yeah,
hate for Tom Misk?
yeah, we did.
We didn't. Yeah, you
yeah. I hate Tomish. FYI. But anyway,
You
yes.
hate his music, not him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That sounds bad. No. I don't even
like
hate his music. I just hate his voice, and I think he should hire someone else to sing for him. Thoughts?
I'm not even going to rise to it anymore.
All right, I'll continue. I'll continue with my
I was
story.
thinking about the right thing to say.
And so anyway, I'm going to see this guy called Eric Gales, and the arena we're in is literally only like a 80 person gig. Yeah, it's
I
tiny.
was going to say 30 person. He can't be that good.
Yeah. No, but in America, he's actually really well known. He got voted in the top 5 best blues guitarist in the world. But anyway, so I go to the gig and we're there early, and I see this guy that looks just like him standing outside having a cigarette. And I'm thinking, I was like, oh my god, is that him? Is that him? My dad's there with me, and I was like, that must be him. And he's like, go over and talk to him. And I was like, no, what if it's not him? I don't want to look like an idiot.
That would be, yeah.
And then, so afterwards, it did turn out that it was him, and I actually met him after the gig. But he's one of these people that's just so like he he's very very
Probably.
Christian and whatever, and he's very like help people and all of that.
Yeah.
So if I went to talk to him, he probably would have had a really long chat with me,
He probably
and
helped
then
you, yeah.
I would have I should have just asked him if he wanted to warm up with me, but didn't happen.
Put yourself out there.
Moral of the
See,
story:
if you don't
take
ask, you don't get.
chances. Yeah, take chances.
But that taught me a life lesson. It's like take the opportunities when they're there.
What? See, I've always thought like everyone's like, oh, can't ask. But it's like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen?
Yeah.
They're going
Right.
to say no, and you're never going to see them again.
Yeah.
Would you rather? I'd rather be turned down.
What's the saying? Like,
If you don't ask, you don't get.
I'd rather look back on life and think about the things I did rather than think about things I didn't do.
Yeah.
That's actually part of that quote is actually why I joined this business.
That's
Just
so
to let you know.
cute. That's so cute.
It's like, but it's like like the
Makes
the
my
trip.
heart beat.
It's like our trip that
Fast.
we're meant to be doing next week.
Yeah. Dude, that beer's going straight to your head.
I'm not drinking beer.
Well, you're halfway through a Guinness.
Only halfway through. The two of us have finished the pint.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of the podcast to go. I don't even know how long we've been
Yeah.
recording.
We've been
doing it
recording
for 45 minutes.
45. I feel like we've covered
A lot.
just terrible
I
content
don't
so
understand
far.
either, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we're just running it through, you know.
Yeah, and also the camera's not working, but now I figured out that it can be working the whole time. All I had
Did
to
you
do
skip my point about Bitcoin?
No, we haven't got there yet.
It's the second one on the list.
Well, I'm sorry, but the whole.
was... All right,
We'll come
Brad,
back. We'll come.
take it away.
All right. So we spoke about this briefly earlier, but the guy that has a $200 million Bitcoin account
Forgot his
that he
password.
can't get into because he's forgotten the password. And he wrote it down on a bit of paper. And he's a bit of paper. I mean,
yeah, but it's the story with this is that he didn't know that it would accumulate to be 200.
Have
still, what password have you wrote down on a piece of paper?
Did you ever see the guy who had it? He had it on a computer, and he threw the computer out, thinking, "Oh, Bitcoin would be nothing."
When I was googling this earlier, it said that as well.
Yeah,
Had
hundreds and hundreds of millions, and the
Yeah.
guy has been searching landfill sites.
Yeah, no,
around
I've got
the
it here.
UK
I've got it here. It's
for years trying to find it.
Bless him. See,
He's
that's
put
a
warrant
worst
on it.
nightmare.
He's a Newport's man plea to find £210 million in a hard drive that's in a tip. Man offers Newport Council $50 million to help him find his Bitcoin bounty.
Is that 15 million that he doesn't have yet?
Yeah,
Well, no. So out of the
50.
£210 million that he'll get from the hard drive, he'll give 50 of that to the person that finds it.
Yeah, but this is the type of work where just finding our hard drive out of all that landfill, the chances are it's been destroyed. He's offering 15 million that he's
50.
5-0.
5-0. Yeah, but he's never going to get that.
No.
Yeah, but I'd still offer that.
That just shows you, that you really think about what you're throwing out.
Yeah, I'm like not a hoarder, but I like keeping a hold of things. 'Cause you never know.
I'm
Yeah.
the same. I'm not. I don't have crazy amounts because I do like to clear stuff out.
For sure.
At
But I think
least
you
2
have
or
a good
3 times a year, but I
yeah.
have a healthy balance.
Mm.
See, Mum, I know I digged you in the last episode.
You doing it
I
again?
love you dearly. I
Doing
love
it
you dearly.
again, mate.
You doing it again?
Ready?
My mum doesn't throw stuff out. Right, there's one
I
story.
don't.
You know those hanging things where, like in the old Victorian homes, where there's string and then you hang it up, like you pull the thing and then it hangs up your clothing.
I really
Yeah.
thought you meant something else.
No. Anyway, so we have one of those in our house to dry your clothes, obviously.
Isn't that
And
just called a
what-
clothing line?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But one of the pieces of wood broke. Okay.
Yeah.
So and then we bought new ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So we completely replaced the whole set.
Just a piece of wood.
And I realised that there'd been, these pieces of wood, literally
Yeah.
pieces of timber, had been kept in our house for an awfully long time. It had been in a couple of months. I said, why have we not got rid of these? And she was like, it was grandma's. Like it was my great grandma's.
There's a sentimental thing there.
I get that.
There's
I get that.
sentimentalities, but we had a church pew in our porch
What?
for about 5 years.
Why?
I think it's actually still there. That's the
not
sad
stealing?
thing.
Why did you have a church pew?
Where did you
Because
get-
it was our great grandma's. And you can't get rid of that. Connor.
No, I get
But
that.
you know,
I get that. I get that.
No, I think you can. I think chuck it the fuck out.
Why?
Why? Because it's filling up a
Casima,
small
don't
house.
listen to him. Don't
Listen to him. Okay, back to Bitcoin. of the existing 18.5 million Bitcoin, about 20%, which is currently worth around 140 billion dollars, appear to be in lost or stranded wallets.
But have you seen their
20% of all Bitcoin is lost or in wallets that can't be accessed.
See, sorry, Connor, you were
No,
about to-
have you seen they're going to be adding more Bitcoin? So they're meant to be adding.
Have you seen the way that they find more Bitcoin?
Yeah, they use
They're
these.
mining and technology.
Yeah.
But mining is now illegal. You have to have
Really?
you have to have a proper mining operation. You've got to put.
Yeah.
You
for
can't
sure,
just
yeah.
because have you ever heard about the kids in America?
Yeah, it's like 14-year-olds.
No, so these 2 kids. I think there was 4 of them by the end of it.
Mm.
They downloaded a software program and put it onto the 1,500 computers at the school.
And
right?
did the whole thing. Yeah.
And they had them running Bitcoin for 24 hours a day, and they gave their town a power cut because it was just
Using
surging
everything.
so much energy.
Yeah. So
Probably
there's
like a registered
actually
mining setup. Yeah.
following on from that is because I used to be this guy that used to like watching these life gurus, these life
Gary
coaches
Vee.
and what. Yeah. Well, Gary V's one of the better ones, but he still is one.
Yeah.
But there's this guy called Mike Winnett on YouTube, and he has this whole series called The Entrepreneur, where he just goes around and he especially focuses on Grant Cardone, just because he's a complete con.
Just breaking news, going back from our previous conversation with WhatsApp, they have decided to halt the controversial rollout of the new data protection thing that they were talking. The new data.
Because they're not
law.
doing it anymore.
So not going the whole thing. They're not saying they're not done it, but as of right now, they've said they are going to be stopping.
Interesting.
So yeah,
But following on, so this guy called Mike Winnett does this series called The Entrepreneur, where he debunks. He goes to these events and shows that they're just like regurgitating this information and everything. and the information is actually useless, and they say that you're down for special content. Anyway, this is not part of my story. Anyway, so he also then went on to do a series. He's a successful businessman that sold his business and then went on to help other businessmen by, proving people wrong. Yeah. And he also did this series on get rich quick schemes. One of them being Bitcoin mining.
Yeah.
And he did that. And it turns out that you actually spend more money on your electricity bill than you do make in the currency.
Oh, yeah, on average, definitely.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, these computers that are mining are chucking out huge amounts of heat. I mean, I watched the guy on YouTube. What he did was, from the heat that was chucking out the computers, he recycled the heat to help his energy bill.
That's actually really good.
So
like powering something.
Using the heat to power. So I don't know how he's done it.
It's a great idea.
But instead of what he's doing, he's recycling the heat from it.
What, are you thinking about putting like thermal generators on top of it or something like that, and then you can run the country?
I'm really interested.
I'm not saying I fully understand what happened, because I didn't read it.
Yeah.
But there is smart enough people out there to be able to figure out how you can.
Right, I was going to mention this. So mining for Bitcoin, what they call it mining, and they're searching for
crack codes, basically.
Yeah, but this is the thing, like. How because you can also strike gold. You can find one bit that's like worth loads. But what are they sifting through?
Codes.
But why is that worth more?
Isn't it just buying and
listen? If you want to know, listen to the Impulsive podcast with Andre.
The last one they just had,
which was I learned so much from that. I just was interested because you were.
I need to watch that.
So
I was crypto.
I was doing my cryptocurrency up until Christmas with I was doing Ripple.
Yeah.
And Ripple dropped to, I think when I bought in, it dropped down to 24p a share. I got my shares up to well above 60p, I think, in the time.
How much you made? Like 20?
So I put in 100 odd quid and I made 20 odd quid or something. I took out, and I only did it just to see what was happening. Right. And
you were playing safe with your money.
Yeah, so at the time, there was the World Crypto Conference in Geneva.
I thought it was Brussels.
One of the two. But and so it happened, and they put all of these new regulations in place, and the markets were starting to crash. I got out in time. But it's such a thing. When you're putting in 100 quid, you have got to be there all day, every day, buying and selling. You can't just leave it there.
I mean, you can.
You could leave it there, but you would have to leave it there for years.
Right.
And if you want to make a return, you need to be buying and selling.
Yeah.
I did not have. I was getting notifications throughout the day with him. And he was getting annoyed at me because all I wanted to talk about was crypto.
But now I'm interested in it. Not doing it, but
it's
like
an
interested
interesting topic, and I would love to have the money to do it and the time to invest into it. But it is something you need to put your time into.
Yeah. So in my gap year, there was I worked in Waitrose to fund the traveling. But there was a guy there who I worked with, and he was interested in cryptocurrency, and he started actually making some serious money from it. And then I saw him about a year after that, and he said he lost all of it because the thing is, all it takes is one crash. One day, and you can lose everything.
See, Bitcoin. Everyone thinks is when you think cryptocurrencies, they think Bitcoin is the only one, but there is loads of them.
Oh yeah.
And so it's all. We're kind of in an interesting point at the minute where Bitcoin is inflated so much. I think it's. I mean, I can look up the.
I heard something that it was going to overtake gold in the next 30 years.
I mean, because I was doing.
It's going to become more valuable than gold.
I was buying gold at the same time I was doing crypto. Crypto was way more valuable, and that just shows you. But
because it's not off of a natural, a natural source.
And it was just so with it. I'm going to get it up now and tell you the price of
crypto. Of Bitcoin.
Yeah. So Bitcoin is at £26,000 a coin.
Wow.
£26,000 a coin. When I was doing
this guy's got 7,000 coins.
When I was in
that is a crazy number.
And that's down, right? So that share price is down from 28,000 this morning.
Can I give you guys a scenario, hypothetical?
Yeah.
You're this guy. You're the German tech guy from San Francisco who has $200 million in your Bitcoin account that you can't get into, and you have two guesses. What do you do?
Do you actually only have 2 guesses? Is that
Yeah,
is that
he
how
only
this
He has
works?
has
2
two
password guesses before it encrypts itself and just deletes it.
Well,
And it just goes back into the Bitcoin stratosphere or whatever.
right. Damn.
What do you do?
What is it?
Well,
Really
is-
only 2? There's no like
No,
one-time
he-
passcode or something.
No, so he's had. I think you get a couple of guesses, but he's done it, so it's led down to 2 left.
Okay, so he just doesn't know if that is his most regular one yet.
Yeah. Have you seen? They think the guy who invented Bitcoin is the richest man in the world.
But they don't know who it is.
Yeah. Nobody knows who he
It
is.
goes by a guy.
It's apparently so. I was watching a
apparently
Vox
some Japanese guy.
Yeah, it's the Japanese guy which they've tracked down to an area where it started. So they think
Satoshi and Nakamoto, but it could be a group that. So
Yeah.
it's more likely that it's a group name that because they obviously had to set up the account with a name,
Yeah.
and they named it that, and it was a group of 5 guys or something like that, and
But they could all be multi-billion.
And no one knows who they are.
Because Bitcoin, that's the thing. It's not. I mean, that's the thing. So when I was dealing in Ripple, and Ripple is the only currency that has government control over it. So
really,
Yeah.
it's the only one that's approved by national banks.
Mm.
Whereas Bitcoin and all of that doesn't. So Ripple, that's kind of why I got into Ripple, because it was meant to be the next big one, and we were kind of waiting for the boom to happen with it. And I think if you're gonna do it, I would invest in Ripple. It's low share prices, but over time, and it is gonna it's gonna inflate.
What would you do if you had 2 million in your account though and you couldn't get into it?
I mean,
I know what I would do.
What would you do then?
I'd just keep it in there
Mate.
because you have 200 million. You just can't use it, but you have it.
I mean, the thing is, you're gonna have to. I mean, he's trying to write a code for it, isn't it? He's trying to code.
If I had the
program.
ability to do that,
Yeah.
I'd do that. But if I'd just leave it.
What an idiot for only writing it down in one place, though. That's on you. I'm sorry,
Sorry,
but that's
yeah.
on you.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, do you like contact Bitcoin and be like, what do I do?
See, that's the problem because
there's no one-
No, Bitcoin doesn't control all of the wallets,
Exactly.
So
So,
it's
it's like,
not
who do
like-
you contact? Like,
and the
who-
whole
is there no
point
help
is that
desk?
it's
There's-
anonymous.
And there's no help desk. It's like, who do I go to? It's not like, oh, you call up the help.
That's why they're calling it the Wild West, because it is
At the moment, yeah, because it's unregulated for sure.
And I think
This is the us podcast now because Quinn's gone for a little toilet break.
Yeah, I mean, he's tiny, but I'm meant to have.
You do.
To be honest, I'm holding in the piss.
Well, I don't know how long we've been going on.
I mean, we've been going on an hour.
Sure.
Pretty much, yeah.
58 minutes.
Yeah.
Close.
But
Quinn, what would you do?
What would I do
I
if
am
I,
going to have to wrap this up soon, boys. I'm
Yeah, that's
afraid.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What would I do if I had 200 million that I couldn't access?
Yeah. But
That's
you
not
had
the question.
Hmm?
That's the question.
That's the question.
What would I
But
do?
you can access it. You have the ability to access it. But
Well,
you just need to know the password.
Well, I mean, you've just got to. How many tries do you have in total?
Let's say you had
We
5, but you now have 2.
Okay.
What do you do?
So
'Cause
the
at
fact
5,
of the
you're
matter
like-
is that it's still, still one of a few options.
The fact
No,
is
it's
that
not. It could be any password ever.
You
Do you know how
got to
many-
go for it because you don't have the.
How
But then
I,
when
I
you
heard
lose
what you
it-
were saying. You don't have the 200 million.
You do.
The fact of the matter is you don't.
You do.
If you don't have access to something, it's
you,
not
you
yours.
You more have it than you don't, I think. No, that's
No,
definitely right.
well, no, because it's a bit like let's say you have a briefcase of money,
Yeah.
but you don't know where you left it.
So hang
No,
on.
that's
Is it
different.
still
Hang on,
yours?
hang on.
Because it's still under the Bitcoin is under his name.
Can I
It's-
just?
It says at the top of the wallet his name.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
What if I had a briefcase full of money with my name on it and I lost it?
No, I don't.
Right, hang on.
I see what you mean. But okay, back to the question. That wasn't
No,
the-
wait.
that wasn't the
Quinn,
question.
listen, wait. So imagine, for hypothetical, he has to have a 4-digit code, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's over 10,000 possible combinations, and he has 2 attempts.
Yes.
And that's
out
just
of 10,000 codes. He has to pick 2.
Is that what the Bitcoin thing is? Is it code?
Well,
yeah,
technically, if
It's a
there's 5
4-digit code.
attempts, it's
Well,
like
it depends what
99,000.
wallet you get. I mean, I know someone who has a 4-digit code as their wallet.
Yeah.
code. It depends on.
The person.
It depends on what, because all wallets are different.
Surely
Depends how it's set
Most
up.
normal people have a couple of passwords.
Or a password. Do any of you have a password thingy online where you can write all your passwords and it's locked, saves all your passwords?
Yeah, Google does it.
Yeah, it's like what Google does.
Yeah.
It's password protector or.
I don't
password
use it. I really should.
I'm not even going to say what I do with my
Apple,
passwords.
I use
'cause
Apple.
you never know who could be watching this and looking for my passwords.
something.
Yeah.
Well then,
It's been an interesting.
that
one,
was.
boys.
I thought it was good. I think it was
I
good.
thought it was,
I thought it was good.
Hopefully, look next week.
Hopefully, it's come out that it's looking good, sounds good. We're all not just chatting shit.
One thing that I'm
'Cause, we were,
the
but-
thing that I'm most happy about is we've got the process down now, and we've got all the equipment we need, and it's going to be effortless to make podcasts from now on.
Thank you for being patient with us. I know, I understand that this hasn't been
This won't be
the
the-
nicest looking podcast.
It won't be
but
the Joe Rogan podcast.
We're trying.
We're trying.
Soon to be though.
We're learning.
We're learning.
It was always gonna take time though.
Mm-hmm.
But thank
It's
you very
gonna be
much. This has been the PMH podcast. And
Have a good one. We will
have a
see
good one.
you.
Have a great week. Well, you would have had a great weekend by the time.
Hope you had a great weekend.
And follow us on all of our social media channels and check out the podcast streaming on all platforms now. Thank you very much.
And thank you
Goodbye.
for listening, everyone. Have a good one.
See you later.
Adios.
Oh, I can do fade to black.